Welcome back, guys, to episode 3. We're about to get started. We've been doing like the finite things that we do right before we start recording. We're still pretty new to it, but we're looking to have a good time, tell some funny stories, and get you guys going. This will be a two-parter. This is going to be the first half. Second half is going to be later. But nonetheless, if you guys enjoy any of this, leave a like, leave a follow. Send it to a friend, get it out there, get some people in here if you guys enjoyed any of it. Other than that, I'm Kyle-Elio Torres, and my co-host is Thomas Tripp. We're about to run it down and get this going. All right, let's hit play. There we go. All right.
We're rolling.
It's up and ready. We're running. We're good.
Okay.
Ooh.
That was pretty good timing. That was 30 minutes of prep time. You're on it.
All it took was a little bit of effort.
Oh, see? Now the bird's going crazy.
Give me my fucking toy back.
Fuck your toy. I like your toy.
I took this from the airport.
Why?
Because, funny story.
Okay.
McLean spent the night a while back, right? And we were talking about like animes that we liked.
Sure.
And he just randomly said, he's like, "Oh, yeah, my
Hunter x Hunter?
my favorite anime is Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah.
I really love Killua."
Okay.
And I was like, oh, "Okay, that's cool."
Mm-hmm.
And then at the airport, it just so happened to be a coincidence. I watched a little kid drop their Killua toy on the floor.
Oh, so you know who it belongs to.
Well, I saw it from far away. I wasn't close enough to be able to be like, I'm going to run all the way there and be the hero.
Yeah.
No, I was like up the escalator watching them go through TSA.
For sure.
And they were gone.
Yeah.
Right? But the toy fell. The toy stayed there the entire day.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, now's the time I make a life choice.
Yeah.
And see whether I get fired or not for taking this. So I took it. But I took it with the pure thought of giving it to McLean.
Sure.
But
It's not for you, so it's not stealing.
yeah, it's not for me. Like, I don't give a fuck about this little toy.
Yeah.
But I thought it was just funny that the timing, like after we had this conversation, went to work, boom, a fucking toy just plops into my vicinity and I have the chance to take it.
Nice.
And plus, the very next day was McLean's birthday, so I was like, ha, a gift I could give him without ever having to work hard for.
And tell him you bought it.
No, I took pictures of it and said I stole it from a kid.
Damn it. Perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
The perfect heist. Where's our intro sheet?
They are over there.
Oh, wait, we pre-recorded, I guess.
Yeah, we pre-recorded a couple of them. And then I, a couple days ago, well, not recently, but during the whole span that we didn't record anything, I also reread them and recorded my own, just so that we had your voice, my voice.
Balance it out.
Right
on. Yeah, I was out of town for a while. So when we recorded in a minute.
Yeah.
I was working at another place. They paid for everything. It was great.
Yeah, they just took your fucking like receipts and shit, right?
Yeah.
Like, they just took them.
Bro, I turned those in like ago. Yeah, and they were supposed to be due like a week ago too.
Yeah.
So I better be getting that like $400 back. Because they didn't give me the company card until like the last week I was there. Like 3 days before I flew back to Michigan. So it was like, what the fuck? And I wish I had some really cool stories for you. But all I did was work, fire some people, work some more, worked out, went to sleep. That was my entire experience at Cincinnati.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like
nothing exciting happened.
But you still did your normal work too, right?
Yeah, which sucked. But I got paid for that time. Oh, you know what though? I did go to the casino. By the way, going to Cincinnati, boring as fuck. There's nothing to do. Absolutely nothing to do in Cincinnati except for eat. And I guess you go to the zoo, but since Harambe died, I really didn't feel like going to that place. You know what I mean? In memory.
Is that the zoo that...
That's the zoo.
So that's the zoo that did the...
That changed the timeline.
Yeah.
That ruined everything. That caused COVID.
That's why we all have a downfall.
Oh, you know what'd be fun? We should get Harambe tattoos.
Dog,
Your first tattoo should be Harambe.
first tattoo should be Harambe.
Rest
Dog,
in peace, Harambe.
if I wouldn't get a tattoo of Girth Eddie Nation, why would I get a tattoo
Oh
of
yeah.
Harambe?
Sorry, we gotta get that first with all the boys. Dude, that should have been your wedding thing. Like all the boys get, you know what I mean?
A tattoo of it? Johnny would have never.
I don't give a fuck. We'll hold him down.
Okay.
I'll fucking well, what do you call it?
Johnny would have
Had he drunk
had
somebody?
to been convinced, you know?
Sure. I could convince Donnie real easily.
I don't know his full reasoning, but he would have just been like, I'll watch you guys.
No,
I'll enjoy watching you guys.
I could hold him down. The whole 4-hour session. In color too, right? Purple.
Yeah.
So, I went to the casino and I hit on roulette. It was a really great time. And I haven't told my girlfriend this story because low-key I'm a fucking idiot. But this is actually the only thing that happened in Cincinnati that was worth telling on this podcast, and I've been waiting to share with you.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing to do in Cincinnati was basically go out to eat. But there was a casino downtown, a Hard Rock casino. I was like, fuck it, I got extra cash. I'm just going to go in, have some drinks, have some fun, right? I was in there for probably about 2.5, 3 hours total. I was hitting slot machines and whatever, right? I just so happened to have like $100 in my hand. I was like, I don't know what to do with this. I went to the roulette table and there was like a Star Wars themed roulette table. I was like, oh shit, that's right up my alley, right? Bro, I was like, oh hell yeah. So I go over there, a couple of guys looking at me, shifty, you know what I mean? There's a lot of old like people there.
The ones who've been playing for a while.
Yeah, the ones that like waste their
Look at this
retirement.
young bitch. Let's take
Right.
his money.
So I immediately put $100 on 22 because 22 is one of my lucky numbers just because it's my birthday.
Yeah.
And I hit. I won $2,000. Okay.
All right.
And I was like, yo, this is the turning point in my day because what I can do here is I can get up and leave. Or I can spend more and possibly win more. And I know how gambling works. I know how casinos work.
And I know how you get.
And you know how I get. So I immediately called my dad because I have to wait at this point because they're like, oh, you hit a big lot of money. We have to call a manager to come over and have you fill out your tax forms and then give you the cash in hand. I was like, okay, I get it. I knew there was a game going on because the pretty ladies with the drinks and whatever, they came over, gave me free drinks, free snacks, you know? And I was like, yeah, they're going to try to get me to stay, right? It was like a half hour before the manager even came by. And then after they came by and I signed all the tax paperwork, they come back with the money a half hour after that. So I was there for almost an hour just sitting and like betting small amounts, just like chilling, right? So I called my dad. I said, Dad, here's the deal. I got an issue. I need you to tell me exactly what I need to hear. He goes, go. My dad doesn't fuck around. You know what I mean? He goes, go, son. Yeah. And I was like, I'm at the casino. I just hit on roulette. I have $2,000 coming in my hands right now. Tell me I need to leave. And he goes, can you win more? And I was like, no. And he goes, all right, get out of there. Trust me, just get out of there. Get up, leave right away. And I was like, all right, I will. When I hung up the phone, the guy behind the roulette thing was like talking to me and like whatever, congratulating me. You know what I mean? Like they have like a whole thing, right?
Yeah.
He keeps looking behind me. I'm like, what the fuck are you looking at? He keeps looking behind me and I thought like people were kind of like behind me. Because, you know, they try to make a little scene out of it. I'm like, I'm not trying to draw attention here. And plus it's only 2,000.
Yeah.
You know, like who cares? It's not a lot. Yeah. Like, they were concerned I wasn't excited. They were trying to get me all uppity and shit. And I was just sitting there chill. I'm like, this is one paycheck. Not even. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a fuck. Right? So I turn around. There's more Star Wars games. Oh. So when I got the cash, I thanked the guy. I left him a few chips as a tip. I walked over. You know, classy, right? Yeah. I walked over. By the way, I was drunk. I had like 6 drinks from the ladies. They gave me all these free drinks. They're delicious. And I put all of it on the slot machines. I lost every single penny of it.
All right.
So I made out with about $100 more than I walked in with, which is fair. I won.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I beat the casino, technically, right? But they got me for $1,900.
You don't beat the casino. The casino gets back their shit.
Yep. So I lied to my dad and told him I walked out, but I didn't. I stayed for another hour or so, lost almost all of it.
All right.
So that's the funny story. But I did come out positive. I came out with a hundo.
That's fair.
Hundo. Yeah.
See, I tried my hand at the casino because, like, you know, we live in Detroit, so I'm like, why don't we go to the casino one time?
That's right there.
With me and Courtney.
Mm-hmm.
So we went over there, and like I was like, all right, here's the game plan. Here's $50 for you.
Yeah.
$50 for me.
Yeah.
We're just gonna play games. Don't know what we're playing.
Nope.
But we're gonna just run around, have fun, right? So we pretty much just go to like the penny slots.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to play anything. All I know is if you play the minimum bet or the lower bet, you ain't getting shit.
Yeah. You have to go big.
Yeah.
And put as many lines as possible. Yeah.
Right. So all I know is I was like, let me just do max bet.
Yeah.
And the very first game I played, I got my $50 back.
Nice.
And I was just like, damn, in the penny slots I got $50? Sweet. And I was just like, well, I don't want to play anymore. Because I was like, I don't care that I won the $50, but like that was like my highlight, right?
Okay.
Because I was just like, there's no way that I do better than this.
Sure.
I'm like, whatever. I came here to play with her. We're gonna have fun.
Yeah.
Literally, first 5 minutes, Courtney went bankrupt. She hit 0.
Yeah.
And I was just like, well, I won a 50.
Yeah.
Here's another 50.
Okay.
You know, so like
let the cycle continue.
I gave her my half.
Yep.
And then I was like, fuck it. I've had really weird luck today.
Yep.
Because, like, I gave her 50. I went to a new machine.
Mm-hmm.
I played it, did max bet. I got like $8. I was like, cool. Went to the next machine. You know, I just kept hopping from machine to machine. Because I didn't know any, like, the tips or tricks.
Mm-hmm.
But I just remember, like, this little lady who was there. She's like, yeah, I've been on this one machine for, like, 15 minutes. It's usually better to just hop around and, like, when you see someone give up on their like machine, you go over there, you take it, you play one good one, and you win always.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, really? She's like, yeah, because usually people just get up after a lose streak. And I'm like, okay, when are you moving? And she was just like, she hit me with the quick, you know, fuck you eyes.
Yeah.
You know?
That's funny though.
And then she was just like, I'll be here for a little bit. You should just run around. And I took her advice. Fuck it.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, I kept losing here and there. Like, I lost $10 there.
For sure.
$10 there. Dude, I went back to, like, only having $4.38.
Woo.
And I was like, man, gave that bitch all my money to play, and now I only got this left. What am I going to do? Because I didn't think I was going to get anything. Played again. Boom, hit $100 real quick.
All back.
And I was just like, got my money back.
That's
and then I was like, all right. I'm
No.
still here. Courtney's still playing. I'm going to go over to the place. I told them, hey, I just won $50.
Yeah.
Can I cash out 50, keep the rest on the card, right?
Okay.
And they were just like, yeah, sure. And they gave me, you know, $50 cash, and I put that in my pocket, and I was like, okay. So now that it's in my pocket,
it's not moving.
I'm $50 positive for myself.
Yeah.
Even though technically I'm negative.
Sure.
Because I gave Courtney $100.
Right. You're right.
But in my head, that was her $100. This is my money.
It never existed with you. Yeah.
Right.
That's your hundo right there. Yeah.
Even though she didn't pay a penny, it was all my money.
Yeah.
So I made that money back, and then I was like, I'm going to play my 50 until it's gone. I don't care. And then I went to one of the more expensive machines and was like, all right, I saw some guy lose here multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll get lucky. Put the whole 50 on there. It literally took the entire 50. It was like a dollar slot thing. And then I fucking ran it. And then it looked like I won something because it was just like, and it started making noise. And I was like, cool, what did I win? And then it was just like, at the very bottom, it was just like, negative.
What?
And like the thing, whatever it was like tallying up, I didn't gain anything. So like I paid more to play that round.
That's weird.
And I was like, what the fuck? So I did win.
Yeah.
But because I paid like 50 to play.
Mm-hmm.
But I only made like 26.
Okay.
And I was like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, that's weird.
Like, I scored like the lowest amount I could possibly get, I guess. Right? So I'm like, fuck it. Play the 25.
Hell yeah.
And then I was like, and it's gone. And it just disappeared.
That's how you do it.
I was like, well, fuck it. There goes my 50. And then I was like, all right, well, still got $50 in my pocket. I'm going
And
home.
I'm out the door, yeah.
Went upstairs. We paid for the all-you-can-eat meal thing. It was like $30-something a person.
Sweet.
And then we just ate, and then... Because we did that as like an anniversary thing, right? So then we had a hotel and everything, so it was fun for the most part.
What casino was it? Was it
the
Greektown, Motown? Motor City, I mean?
GM, the Greektown one.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Right on. I like that.
It was cool for the most part. Like, everybody was polite. No one was rude. A lot of the... Because, like, I like to talk to people. So, like, I was just talking to random fuckers, and they were chill. The only thing I didn't like... a lot of heavy smokers.
Yeah.
I personally don't like smoking.
Yeah.
I don't like being around smoking.
Uh-huh.
But, I don't judge people for it. I just don't.
No, but I don't want to be around it.
Right.
Like, heavy cigarettes is crazy. Yeah.
It's like they had one area that was like a non-smoking zone.
Yeah.
But everywhere else is just ashtrays everywhere.
Yeah.
Just full of fucking cigarettes.
Yeah, full. Yep.
And I'm like, holy
Cincinnati
shit.
was the same, yeah.
And like, they just have people, because like, they don't fuck with people. If you want to smoke a pack while sitting there giving us your money, fuck it. Let's do it.
Nah, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
And no judgment at all.
Yeah, make your
man,
money.
it smells so bad.
Yeah, it just smells
and like,
horrible.
I don't want to walk out like I'm a smoker. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not to mention, I'm gonna catch cancer at that point,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I was getting a major headache.
That was like one of those things that I was just like, ugh. It was a turnoff to it. But I was like, yeah, it was still a good time for the most part. Would I want to spend a lot more money? I would do it, but I need the right incentive.
You need a good atmosphere.
Yeah, like I need someone who knows how to actually play.
Yeah, and also have fun with it.
Right.
Because it's about having fun at the end of the day.
Because like, well, that's the thought, right? Like, I see all like these random videos where people are like, they play and they lose a bunch, and then they get somebody who's like good at casino play. They get them to come with them, and then all of a sudden they're winning hundreds of thousands of dollars.
That's like a scam, though. That guy with the tattoos you're talking about? The face tattoos?
I don't know if that's the one, but I'm sure there's a lot of different videos that are like that. Because I don't know who you're talking about with face tattoos.
Oh, okay.
So I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Gotcha.
But if there is someone that's doing that, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
But I know there are people who actually do that. Like, they have people who are just good at playing those games that know the payout values, and they go and they lock down those machines. And they're just like, yeah, play this like 4 times, and you should get a good payout in the third or fourth, whatever. And I'm like, okay, just having someone like that would be cool to have.
That'd be cool.
Because another time that I went was with me, Courtney, my brother, and his it's his ex-girlfriend now, but girl at the time. She was like, oh yeah, I fucking come here all the time and I spend a lot of money and usually I win. And I was like, what do you mean by usually? Like, she's like, oh, well, I have a specific strategy. And like, she took us to certain machines and she was like, these machines always pay out really good. These machines will pay you out good, but you have to sit there for a while. And like, she was explaining them, and I was like, cool, that's like key information that now I know.
Yeah.
If I have a little money, I can sit at this machine for as long as I want, and I should be okay.
Yeah. Right?
Even if I lose a bit, I'll come back. Because I watched
people learn that shit.
I don't know, but I watched that bitch put $80 in it, went down to like fucking $30. And then all of a sudden she hit and she gained like $400.
Nice.
And she was just like, yeah, see this machine, like this style of machine or like whatever like the brand name is.
Yeah.
Because, there's a bunch of different brands in there.
Right, yeah.
She's like, these ones, they always have some weird thing where they pay you out as long as you stay playing, blah, blah, blah. And then she like ordered a drink and shit. Like nice. she was a consistent gambler that knew how to gamble. All right, cool. And then at the end of the night, I watched her spend her entire $400-something losing back to back because she already had a few drinks in her.
Fuck it.
And she just said fuck it like you did.
Yep. Just have fun, man.
But that's the thing, I don't drink. So
you're conscious the whole time?
I'm conscious the whole time I'm losing my money. So it's one of those like, holy shit, do I really want to lose this much?
My mortgage.
For real. But that's the only thing that I like that like really interests me. I don't care to win. I just think as long as the experience is fun, it's worth it.
And you're not bankrupt, yeah.
Yeah. So, because that's why I like arcade machines. I've wasted way too much money at arcades.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
And, you know, the prizes are never worth how much I've spent.
No.
By no fucking means.
No.
It usually is, you know, dog deep negative. But, you know, the time playing those games with someone else or even by myself, it just feels like a good time. So, like, a good way of saying it, at David Buster's, there is a Kung Fu Panda game that is probably broken every single time you go there now.
Okay.
But it is a skill-based game that all you have to do is they have these circles and you have to punch them.
Okay.
You could push them if you want, but...
Fuck that.
But it's about speed.
It's Kung Fu.
It's Kung Fu.
Yeah.
Right.
I've never seen this game.
You've never seen it?
And I go to Dave & Buster's at least twice a year.
That's... You know, they probably got rid of it because it was one of the easiest games you could ever play if you were fucking...
Fast.
Actually fast.
Yeah.
And you could... Like, no matter what, you'd always win. Like, they would give you... like 100 tickets regardless, right? Like, you're guaranteed them even if you're a fucking
gotcha, yeah.
dog shit.
I like games
so
like
you'd
that.
get a couple good tickets.
Right.
But its payout is 1,000 to 2,000 every time.
Nice.
So you're guaranteed 1,000 or 2 tickets. So if you ever wanted to get something quick, you just keep playing that game.
If you do it 10 times,
and
that's 10,000.
if you go on a Wednesday, it's half price.
Whoa.
So
nice.
Instead of it costing you 10 chips, it's costing you 5 chips. So as long as you're winning every single time, there's chances you'll get the 1,000. There's chances you'll get the 2,000. Because the more you play, the more it ups.
Nice.
But then it like resets. You know?
Right on.
It never went above 2,000 from what I could tell. But me and Johnny pretty much mastered that fucking game. And sometimes the game would cheat a little bit and it wouldn't give you the big payout because, like, it had its own little, you've been winning too many times, so you have to lose this one.
Sure, yeah.
You know? But nonetheless, we'd fucking play that shit for like an hour or two and just punching the fuck out this game.
Yeah.
And when it first came out, it was fucking awesome. It was sweet. And then it ended up kind of breaking down a little bit because it's just people punching the fucking button all the time. So what ended up happening was later on, whenever we would see it like that, certain buttons wouldn't work, so we'd have to avoid those buttons and still try to win, you know? But that one's a really fun one. There's another one where it's a team-based game where you have to push a button, and then on the other side, a button will light up. It's like just a row of buttons.
Yeah.
And all it is you push, your friend pushes, and you have to just keep pushing them as fast as possible.
Oh.
As many of them as you can get, that's how many tickets you get.
Cool. Are they like blue squares?
Yeah.
I feel like I know this game.
You've definitely
I didn't know it was
seen
2-player.
It's single player and 2-player.
Okay.
If you do 2-player, it's based on how fast you are with your partner. If you do it by yourself, it's as fast as you do it, but it's easier to have another eye.
Yeah. I feel like we fucked that game up.
Dude, me and Johnny. Usually Johnny's the one that I go to places like this.
Yeah, yeah.
And we just... Skill-based games?
Yeah.
We fucking got them. Like, I don't know if you've ever been to round one.
Yeah, love round one.
Yep. Fucking... this is kind of a side note, but...
We've been to round one together.
I forgot.
Twice. I don't know if you've ever been to round one. We've been there twice together.
So the round one that we went to, they actually upgraded and like got a bunch more machines.
Cool.
Since the last time I went.
At Great Lakes?
Yeah.
So we'll have to go.
Yeah. So last time I went, they had a bunch more claw machines, like different style of games. All those claw machine games, me and Johnny just run through them bitches. Like, the first time we ever went, they gave us a garbage bag because that's just how much shit we had.
Nice.
We had like a shit ton of stuffed animals.
They have great prices.
A bunch of like figures and stuff. All my figures are up in the attic right now because since I cleaned my room last, they've just been sitting up there. I got to bring them back down. But yeah, no, round one is a fucking amazing place. If you got kids, I'm not sponsored, but
I feel like you're about to.
But let me go in on this place, dog. They get all like state-of-the-art games from Japan. Plus, they also get a bunch of Americanized games that, you know, all the Americans love, period.
And they have bowling.
And they have fucking bowling.
And karaoke.
And the only thing is about the bowling, they don't have like full-size bowling. It's like the half bowl.
Is it? I thought it was full lanes.
Like, the balls that they use are like the smaller balls. They're not the real big bowling balls.
I didn't notice that.
You didn't?
No.
Yeah. That's okay. They have pretty good ice cream for the most part. What?
Ice cream? Where?
They do have ice cream.
Where the fuck is the ice cream?
So, once it gets too late, they stop serving the ice cream.
Okay.
But they have like 6 different flavors of ice cream.
You got all the round one secrets.
Yeah, dog. I'd be going there. They have the adult section, which is like pool, darts.
Yeah. The bar.
Yeah, the bar area, which also houses the karaoke side.
That's true.
Which I've never done the karaoke over there, but I tried to tried. I tried to get friends to do it. Yeah. But then nobody's interested because I'm like, whatever, fuck it. I don't have friends who actually like singing.
I like it. You know, I do. Well, but it's hard. Like, you need Johnny for the mathematician and speed games, but he will never open his mouth to sing a word. Yeah. Unless he's drunk.
Yeah. Well,
Matt will never sing.
Yeah, like, most of our friends are just too introverted or embarrassed to do something stupid. And I'm like, man, dog, it's all about being stupid.
Yeah, it's about having fun. Yeah. If you're a terrible singer, it's better.
Damn. I'm just remembering, like, I don't know the name of the place, but it's pretty much like a kid place. Okay. That I got invited to go to with my sister and brother-in-law, and Courtney went. But long story short, it's like a bunch of like obstacles and stuff, and you can like climb on shit.
I love those places.
Yeah.
What city was it in?
It was here. It was near. I'm trying to remember. It used to be next to like a Planet Fitness, but the Planet Fitness I think closed down.
Okay, but it's one of those like adult jump castle places.
So inside. It was a mixture between adult and kid. Sure. So, like, they had a lot of kids' incentive stuff. Yeah, yeah. But then there was some stuff that was for adults. Well.
Which is awesome.
I did one of the kid incentive things. Okay. And I learned my fucking lesson.
Why?
Because, I'm not the tallest guy in the world.
You're pretty tall.
But.
You're 6'2"?
I'm like borderline 6'1". Okay. But it's like, there was this thing where like you could zip line across the room.
Awesome. Yeah.
And I was like, that sounds great as fuck.
Yeah, it sounds great. Yeah.
But it was designed for kids apparently. Okay. So they didn't think the adults would want to do it, but it's works for adults. They're like, as long as you're under 400 pounds, you can glide across this fucking room.
For sure.
Who cares, right? While I was like hooking up and like setting up, the guy who was standing next to me, which he was a lot shorter than me, he was just like, hey, when you get to the end, lift your legs. And I was like, why? Okay. And I'm like, whatever, I'll do it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm getting to the end. I lift my legs up. I didn't lift them too high.
Just a bit.
But just enough. Yeah. Just enough to slam my ankles on the very edge corner.
Oh, that's the worst.
And I'm like...
And you were zipping fast, weren't
you? Yeah, dude. I was going so fucking fast. I was like swinging back and forth.
Damn, that thing crippled you?
Like right there, I was just like... I lifted my legs like... Eh. Yeah. When I should have lifted my legs above my fucking head.
Damn.
You know? So then I was just like... Bah! Just slammed both of them. And then I was just like, the guy unhooked me and I was like, I'm just going to lay here on the floor for a little bit. And he's just like, it gets all of us, guy. It gets all of us.
That's horrible.
Like, the guy who watched it happen, he was like just as tall as me. Yeah. So he's like, yeah, that'll get you, motherfucker.
Damn.
And apparently it's a double ride. So like once you get off that one, you walk to the other side and you get sent back.
Gotcha.
And the guy told me, he's like, so did you learn your lesson? I was like, I'm never getting on this again. That's what I learned.
He's like, I can't walk.
There you go, brother.
That's funny.
You know? This is really tall, cool black guy. Oh, man. But yeah, I busted my fucking ankles at that moment. That shit hurt so bad.
Man, that sucks. So have you been to Best in Games yet?
What's that?
It's in Ipsy. It's a newer, not too new. I'd say it's about 2 years old. It's a newer 3-level arcade place. The first floor as an arcade plus that obstacle course type thing, plus a couple of those like tiny mini, you know, carnival roller coaster shits. You know what I'm saying? The second floor is an arcade. Or, I mean, not an arcade. I'm sorry, a laser tag and glow golf and throwing axe level. And the third floor is a giant go-kart, like racetrack. Now, whoever decided to put full concrete and heavy equipment on the third floor of a building is insane to me. I would have probably built this the other way around, but it's a really cool place. So I'm guessing you haven't been yet.
I have not.
It's awesome, and we should go.
Okay.
It is in Ipsy, so it's probably 26 minutes from you, and it's probably 10 from me.
I don't give a fuck. But it's still worth the drive.
He'll drive the distance, yeah. It's actually really awesome. One of my friends who I used to work with was part owner, which is cool. And the people who I used to work with a few years ago after COVID.
So are they still part owner? Or
No, they left the company. But the people who I used to work for own that place, so it's cool. I know a couple people around there.
Okay.
I used to have the hookup, is what I'm trying to say, but now I don't.
You don't.
Yeah, unfortunately not. But they're, you know. It's all the same family. Everybody's really cool. These are the same people that own the escape rooms and the Zap Zones in Michigan. You know,
right?
So, we should go because it's got everything, and the food's pretty good too. So it's like I said, it's glow golf, it's fucking restaurant, it's fucking Zap Zone, it's fucking arcade, it's fucking bar.
So when you say we should go,
are
you saying us as in the nation, our friends, or us as in we double date go there?
Meggie is not fun.
I know she's not. That's why I'm
Courtney is 50-50. Yeah. So it's like, I think the nation should go.
Okay.
You know what kind of I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I was just making sure.
Meggie's fun, but she's not like...
She's not...
Obstacle course.
She's not fun in our dynamic.
In our dynamic, yeah. You know...
She's like...
She's my calm pill.
She's
right?
fun, but leave her at the library.
That's exact. I literally was just thinking about it. I'm like, she's fun if we are getting coffee and going to Barnes & Noble. You know what I mean?
All right.
Right? Yeah. You and me.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Listen, we're ready to sell our souls for Satan if we're going to get some fucking
we're going to have
excitement.
Some fun.
Yeah, if we're going to have some
life
excitement.
Is going to be good.
I'll donate a testicle for some fun love, you know? Yeah. So, listen, bro.
Left or right?
Probably the right, because I think my left is my building mechanic.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like the right one doesn't work.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The left one hangs a little lower.
Yeah, left one's supposed to be more sensitive.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get rid of the right one.
Okay.
I'd sell it. Sure. Yep. So for the audience here, I do, in fact, have a massive tattoo on my arm, which I didn't want, but I love it, of the Shai-Hulud sandworm from Dune. And I go around on my daily life convincing people to watch the new Denis-directed Dune movies because they're fucking fantastic. And Kyle here, for the first time, watched the reboot from 2021, I believe, of Dune Part 1. And I would love to hear more of what you were trying to tell me on Tuesday before we were like, save it for the podcast. There's a lot of things we talk about in life where we kind of just look at each other and we're like, save it for the podcast. And then we forget about it. But I'm not going to let this go because my plan after the podcast is we're going to watch Dune Part 2 and he's going to shit himself. Take it away, Kyle.
Okay. So,
not a sponsor.
Yeah, not sponsored by Dune.
Not sponsored by Frank Herbert.
Yeah, well, you would wish, right?
Oh, dude, I'd come.
If he gave you even $1 just to say any benefit towards it, you would pretty much do it. Hell, just to shake his hand, I guess you would fucking be like, yeah, I'll praise you.
He's dead, but I would do it.
You're right.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing wrong with shaking a dead person's hand.
I can get in there.
Yeah, just open his casket.
We'll call it bony hand job.
Yeah.
What kind of a handshake are we talking about?
Wait. But yeah, I watched the first Dune. I saw it. It was on, I believe, Paramount Plus.
Sure.
I saw it pop up, and it was like, watch Dune, part 1, blah, 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 now streaming.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wonder if this one's been on here for a while, because I think part 2 just got on streaming. So maybe they're, like, recommending this because part 2 just popped up.
Right.
And I'm like, cool. I looked at my wife, and I'm like, I know she doesn't like Star Wars shit.
Mm-hmm.
Or anything of like that sort of
like
tendencies.
sci-fi adventure, yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't care for that. And I'm like, I wonder how long it is. I click it and I'm like, dog, 2 hours and 30 minutes? That's a whole long time.
Yeah.
I hope, because like, I'm going off of everything you've ever said about it. So all I know is sandworms, murder, explosions, killing, everything that you could ever wish for.
Spice.
Fun, action, amazing.
Okay.
And then I
do talk it out a lot.
I get into it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, first 5 minutes, it's just board meetings. And I'm like, all right, cool. The plot, it's thickening. I know it's going to get good at this point. And then I'm like, all right, 10 minutes in, more board meetings. And then I'm like, all right, we're 10 minutes in. Let's see what happens.
Political drama.
Let's see what happens in the next 20 minutes. It's like, oh, little boy, we're learning about him now. He's apparently some rich kid's son, or some rich guy's son.
Okay.
And he's just hanging out all the time in all the places where he probably shouldn't fucking be.
That is correct so far.
And I'm like, and I'm just watching him go to all these places. And then one of the cool parts that I liked was he sparred with his teacher.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, cool. The first form of action, which took about 26 minutes to get.
Yeah.
And the teacher's like, hey, we're doing training today. And then he's like, I don't want to do training today. And then the fucking teacher bitch slaps him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck yeah. Okay. Now they're about to fight.
Yep.
And then they start fighting.
Yeah.
And that's where you first see one of the coolest things that I fucking liked, which was the energy shield thing. And to me, that was like the coolest aspect because these fuckers were going at it.
Yeah.
And like they were using like real fucking swords when they were fighting. And I'm like, damn, he really just threw a fucking blade at this guy's head. He missed and it like stabbed into the desk next to him.
Yeah.
But the kid was like, fuck, I gotta turn this shit on.
Right.
So then he turns it on.
My teacher's trying to kill me. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, teacher's not holding back. And then they start sparring with real swords. And every time they're about to hit each other, that energy like fluctuates on it and it turns blue.
It did look super cool.
And then they were able to like dodge it. So like from what I got, the shield does not stop the hit. It stops the momentum
right.
from connecting.
Yeah.
But it puts it in kind of like a slow-mo state.
Yes.
So like it's not stop, like you could still be hit.
Yeah.
And if it breaks through, you're getting hit. But other than that, it goes into slow-mo, stops it. If you don't react, you get hit. To me, that concept of shielding is fucking awesome.
Yeah, super cool.
So, like, throughout the whole thing, whenever, like, people were in their battle suits, I was like, I wonder if they have that same shit or if this is only for, like, rich kids. You know? Like, that was the whole thing I thought. But then I'm like, well, this would probably be a common item because, you know, it has to be.
Yeah.
Like, this is a war-bound thing.
10,000 years in the future. Yeah.
Right.
People gotta have this shit.
I'm like, all right, cool. And so then I'm watching the movie. We're probably like... Maybe we're at least 40 minutes in and still nothing has fucking happened the entire time. So like... This is before we even got to the fucking desert.
Oh, to Dune, yeah.
Yeah, everything within like the 40 minutes is just they're still on their home planet talking about going to this new planet to harvest spice.
Yeah.
And from everything that I have learned, I don't know if this is going to be a spoiler for anybody, but fuck you guys.
Fuck you, bitch.
The movie's been out for a long-ass time.
The book came out in the 60s.
Yeah, and the book's been out there. You know, I read Harry Potter at one point. I don't remember if I did, but I sure probably did. The boy who lived, and the boy who lived.
Come to die.
But they're all talking about getting this goddamn spice because spice helps you drive your vehicles, or it's an energy source for your vehicle in space. And there's a bunch of fucking like crack-headed junkies who love to smell that shit. And I didn't like understand it because everything I'm watching, I'm like, nothing is connecting. Nothing's been weaved together within the first 40 minutes. It's just rich guy gets the opportunity from some other fucking rich guy.
The Emperor of the Universe.
The Emperor of the Universe.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, the
Emperor Shaddam the Third.
Whoever it is. I know you know every single fucking name to every single character. All I got was they shaved Aquaman. That's all I know.
All right, perfect. That's all you need.
There's a shaved Aquaman in there. But pretty much this big conglomerate thing, they're pretty much sending a scapegoat to this fucking island or nation, whatever planet, to go harvest some shit, but they're giving him the bare minimum of shit that's all been like ransacked. Anything that was worthwhile on that planet has been pretty much taken already. So they're pretty much setting up this guy to fail. Like there's nothing he could succeed.
Yeah.
And the more and more, like throughout the whole movie, it kind of seems like it's like when, you know, like how the Americans fucked over the Indians and we like slowly murdered them all and took their land. Mm-hmm. That's what it seemed like it was going to be. But then you realize the colonizer is actually a good guy. Sure. Right? Yeah. Like the main guy who's like the rich entrepreneur guy, he's not a bad person from what it seems. But everybody fucking hates him.
Yeah. Are you talking about Duke Leto Atreides?
Whoever's
with the beard?
Whoever's the father.
Yeah.
That's him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Leto.
He seems like a pretty solid dude.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole movie, he did not seem evil. I don't know if the book tells a different story of this man, but he seems solid and cool.
He's solid.
He's boring as fuck to watch.
Sure.
Everything that he does is by the book, standard stuff, until he talks real to you.
Yeah.
Right? Because, like, I feel like when he's sitting in his desk talking to people, he's just being the asshole he's supposed to be. But then the moment he gets up from that chair and he starts talking to people one-on-one, they're like, oh, so this is what he's about.
Yeah.
You know? So, like, he has all these different scenes where he's talking to his son, and it's like, wow, he really loves his son. Mm-hmm. That's nice. He's a very caring father. But then he has trees outside that he has a gardener water on this fucking desert.
Slavery.
No. But there's trees that apparently drink about 10 people's worth of water every single day.
Yep.
And water is a very limited resource in this fucking place.
Yeah.
And he like makes all these crazy decisions. Like, why would you want these palm trees that don't belong in fucking the desert?
He didn't bring them.
They were just there?
Yeah, they were brought a long time ago.
He should have killed them. He should have been like, well, these need to go. It doesn't make sense. He's paying for this.
That's true, yeah. Paul did say that. He came out to the gardener.
Well, the little boy was like, should we get rid of them? And the gardener was like, no. I love giving this thing love instead of the sorry people.
And then they cut to the
and then they cut to all people. Yeah. Oh, and that's the part. That's one thing I didn't like about the movie either.
What do you got?
That every single person knew who the fuck this little boy was.
Okay, yeah.
Like, he comes to this world looking like a normal dude.
Right.
And they're like, our Messiah.
Yeah.
Oh, pledge the fealty, blah, blah, blah. And he's always like, who the fuck are these people? And they're like, pay no mind to the poor. They're the sorry people. And I'm like, all right, cool. That didn't answer his fucking question. Why do they sit outside staring at him every day?
Right.
Like, he has all of these followers without ever having the knowledge of being their, like, leader. Mm-hmm. Right? And I get it. Towards the end of the movie, you see why that's happening.
Right.
You get a better understanding. But throughout the entire movie, there's no explanation why there are random fucks who keep coming up to him and say, you're such a special boy. And kiss him on his forehead and shit.
There's a couple scenes. For example, your favorite scene.
Now.
With the needle.
Right. But even
the Jam Gabar.
So even then, the aspect of that didn't fucking make any sense. Why it happened.
Okay.
Right? So, like, I'm just going to keep talking shit about this movie because there's just so many parts where
it's killing me. I want to
why did this even happen? Why did this even happen? But it seems like I'm missing a book, you know? Like
no, you're not missing a book.
I'm missing a chapter that feels like I should have known the parents before I knew this fucking child.
That might help.
You
but
know?
I promise you that the book is literally like there's only like 2 or 3 things that are missing. It's literally like that's how the movie starts, is the start of the book, and like, you know what I mean?
Okay. But so
you're not missing much. It's just I understand what you're saying because the dialogue's not there.
Right.
It doesn't fully explain what's going on.
So as I'm watching this, I slowly learn that the dad is this all-powerful man when it comes to money.
Sure.
Right? He's a great businessman. He knows when to pick his fights. He knows how to lock down. He has power over water. He has power over... Yeah, why are you laughing?
Power! I remember we had this conversation.
He's got power over the water, the air, and I don't remember if he said a third one, but I know he said he wants desert power. And I'm like, wow, I wonder what desert power is. That sounds like a very convenient thing, you know? And the part... Like, I know I already said this to you because I couldn't hold it back. I wanted you to know how disappointed I was when these motherfuckers said the line. So, the whole time is just, this dad is going around saying, because I'm going to get to the mom later.
Okay.
I need to finish with dad
Don't you bring in Jessica. Okay, go ahead.
So, the dad, he's just like explaining all this shit to his son. And he's like, you know, he's pretty cool with his son. He literally tells him, I don't need you to be this bureaucrat, all this other bullshit. I just need you to be my son. If at the end of the day, you don't want to take on my shoes at the end of the day, when I finally say I give up, you don't have to. I'll fucking pay some random dude to do it. That's literally the combo that he says to him. And then the very next scene is, he talks about getting desert power. He wants to utilize this desert that has all of this shit. And the whole time during that movie, I'm like, what the fuck is desert power? I need to know. Because the only things that I could think of was, there are these giant fucking sandworms. They only show up 3 times during the movie. One time, they just sort of see it. Right? The second time, you actually see it do some crazy shit, and it's super fucking dangerous. And it was a fucking amazing scene. And then the next time you see it, I'm not going to say that part yet, but the whole point of this place is that it produces some sort of red sand that everybody calls spice. And they're collecting that spice. They have like these big trucks that go around sucking up all the sand and like spitting out the normal sand and collecting all the special sand, right? Fucking
special sand.
Well, that's what it was. It's not real spice. It's just fucking dirt that has hallucinogenic abilities. It's pretty much the dog shit of the fucking sandworms. That's what it seems like.
I like it.
Yeah.
These are some good analogies from your perspective. I like it.
It probably is, though. It's probably what they eat, and then it produces that shit. And that's why there's abundance of it. I don't know. There's probably it probably explained the real reason why that spice is there. But essentially, I took it as the spice is desert power, but in my head, no one confirmed it. I'm like, so spice isn't really the desert power. What is the desert power? At the very end of the fucking movie, there's the main character who is like
Paul.
High on spice.
Yeah.
His name's Paul?
Paul.
I'll try to say Paul. He's like he's high as shit on spice.
Yeah.
Because he's stuck in this planet without a breathing tube thing. So he's just huffing this shit all day in the natural air. And he looks in the distance, and it's like the very last few seconds, and the movie ends. And he's like, he looks in the distance, and he sees someone riding a fucking sandworm, and he's like, desert power. And I'm like, what the fuck? Is that what desert power is? People riding sandworms? Is this how they get around?
No.
They ride the most dangerous creature in the fucking planet?
Well, yeah.
No.
But that's not desert power.
Okay.
But I
well,
know
this
what you're
little
saying.
boy ruined my desert power experience.
Because the whole time you're waiting for what the desert power was.
I wanted to see, like, maybe they utilized the spice and they fucking created a new weapon. Boom, desert power. You know, that would have been cool. Maybe they loaded it up and then, because, you know, they use it as some sort of jet fuel, it's highly explosive as well. It's not only something to get high on, it's also something to kill people with. You know, cool, desert power. No, none of that shit. It's the fucking sandworm and riding it. That's desert power.
It's not.
Fuck you.
But the way...
the movie said it was, that's desert power.
You missed one scene. And I'll ease your pain for a minute. When Duke Leto Atreides, Thufir Hawat, the one with the lip discolor, the cyborg that you like.
Which one? The white one or the
other white one?
Well, they were both white, but one of them was like albino.
Well, he's like the albino black guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the guy that works for House Atreides.
Yeah.
So Thufir Hawat and all of them, they're checking out the spice silos that were ruined by the Harkonnens. Right. They have to fill up every day. I think it was that scene, but Leto says
comes and eats the fucking thing.
Just before that. Yeah. Leto says something like desert power, you know. He's referencing the economical value and the military value of being on Arrakis. Because I told you before, Dune, Arrakis, is the only planet in the whole universe that makes the spice. That's why it's so valuable, right?
It's the only place.
This is why it was such a political thing, basically a political betrayal to put House Atreides where Harkonnen was in the Dune, on Dune. What he's saying earlier, because I thought about this when you asked, when you were telling, we were complaining about it the other day, is the air power and sea power that he's saying, which they did not explain to you, which is why...
They don't explain it.
No, they don't explain it at all, which is why I totally understand your anger, because it's a sci-fi movie. You think when they say power, it means something crazy, right?
Right.
He's only talking about the economical and the military power that comes with this place. So, for example, his thopters, those whatever I told you about, the dragonfly things, that's the air power. He controls the air power. On Caladan, it's a sea type planet. He's got the economical value of the sea or whatever the fuck.
So he has the boats.
He's got the boats. He builds the ships that fly out of the sea. You know what I mean? Now he's got desert power, which is now he controls. Not even that. Now he controls. Or he's been put in charge of the most powerful resource in the entire universe. They shouldn't say power, in my opinion. I don't think they do I don't remember them doing it in the books. They should say, now I have the desert. You know what I mean? If I were to say to you, if I was Duke Leto, if I was like, we have the air. In my head,
I've controlled the air. I control the sea.
Exactly.
Now I control the sand.
Boom.
That would make sense.
Way more sense.
But no,
power.
Power.
Yeah, it does. In the way he delivers it, it does sound like. So you were let down. There was no superpower.
Yeah, no, there was no greater thing. Like we knew what it was from the start.
Yeah, basically.
Enough about the dad. The dad was a solid person.
Yeah, I want to hear what you're about to say about Jessica.
I will say the dad's death scene.
Awesome.
Fucking awesome.
Phenomenal.
He was not a good fighter, but he fought as long as he could.
Yeah.
And that's the part that was like, okay, he's a bureaucrat. He's not here for fighting. He hires people for fighting, but he got fucked. So now he has to fight. Mm-hmm. And he understood that. Mm-hmm. So, I don't remember him fighting a lot of people. I think he only took on, 2 guys.
He never fought anybody.
Oh, okay. Because, he just ran for a while, and then he, did side shit.
No, I think you're thinking of Duncan, Idaho, when he shaves his face.
No, not Aquaman.
Okay,
Aquaman kills 10 guys.
He does. He's awesome. So
I'm talking about the dad. He gets an assassin or something shows up, and he's trying to fight him off.
He doesn't fight off anybody though. He just gets paralyzed by Dr. Yue, who betrays House Atreides. The Asian guy with the diamond.
Yeah.
I think you're mixing the two scenes because they were dressed the same. Duncan, Idaho, Aquaman.
But the thing is, he knew he was going to die. he's like, oh, I know I'm fucked at this point.
Yeah, so then he does the poison gas.
And running. Oh yeah, he does like a poison gas.
No, he never gets to run, unfortunately. But yeah, he.
I thought he makes it to like the next area. Like he does something that fucks with other people. Like doesn't he kill somebody?
Yeah, he kills a couple people. He kills Peter, who was there.
I was almost certain he like did something to them.
Yeah, he
has like a weird thing in his tooth.
The tooth that was replaced. Yeah, it's a gas. Bomb basically.
Right. Okay.
And he almost killed Baron Harkonnen, which would have been awesome.
Okay, so I'm not crazy when I was like he.
No, you're not crazy with that, but he didn't like physically fight or run from anybody.
Okay, maybe I was wrong then.
I think no, it is confusing because Duncan Idaho, who shaves his face, and I think that's the second time we see him with a shaved face.
Yeah, because at first he had a beard.
He had a beard at first, yeah,
and he looked fucking.
Because he was living in the desert, yeah.
Yeah, and then afterwards he came back, he shaved it all off, and I was like, ugh.
Yeah. So the second time we see him is him running in basically the same pajama clothes.
Yeah.
That the Duke had, and like the same sequence. So I think it is confusing.
Okay, but whatever. The fucking guy's getting shot at, and he realizes, oh, I'm getting attacked right now.
Yeah.
And he turns on last second his fucking like shield, which I think was a really cool scene. I'm like, oh, he got his shield on.
Yeah.
Last second.
Yeah.
And then, because I thought he had a knife on him.
No, there was a knife stabbed into the servant woman.
Oh, maybe that's why I'm thinking he killed somebody.
No, he found her groveling on the ground.
Yeah.
I actually kind of forgot her name.
Because he's holding the blade for a second.
I think he does hold it, yeah.
Yeah, because if I'm remembering it correctly, whatever, I just saw it like 2-3 days ago. Mm-hmm. He's being attacked or something, because there's something that alerted him, and then he got his buddy came or whatever, who he thought was his friend, and then his friend shot him.
Well, the first dart, Dr. Yue already shot at him, but the shield that he turned on stopped it.
Yeah.
But he was trying to stop it. He's like, oh,
it's
shit.
on his back. He's trying to reach for it, but he can't reach.
Yeah.
Unlike him, I have the ability to reach behind my back fully.
I can touch my entire back.
Just so it'd be known.
Yeah. I'm flexible.
This poor aristocrat. He was unable to stop the bullet, and then you see the sleeping dart or whatever the fuck it was slowly get closer to him. I like how they like really zoomed in on it just for it to go where it's blue, starts to turn colors, and then it goes red, and then it just breaks through and stabs him.
It's really cool.
That little bit of like delay is such a good like because he knew he could stop it, but he couldn't.
Yeah. And like you can tell it's a special dart that can break through the shields,
right,
because they tried to use it on Duncan when he has the swords and he's running, and he just fucking like slips his sword between and blocks them off.
Maybe that's I
think that's the scene you're talking about.
I might have been thinking that too. I might have just combined them
because he looks the same, and the lighting's the same. He's got the white shirt, yeah. I think you mixed it, but it's the same scene.
Right, because like right after that, that's what happens to that fucker.
Yeah, because Duncan's trying to go get Paul and Jessica, who are already kidnapped.
Right, but nonetheless, the dad, he goes down like a fucking badass.
Badass, yeah.
He fucking breaks his tooth or whatever last second, fucking vomits out this poison in the air, and everybody in the room just gets fucked up.
76 poison damage.
Yeah, dude. Like, when you're thinking of, like, acid breath, that shit was acid.
It was very cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, that was an awesome scene, whatever. Someone lived. Who cares? Someone had to make it.
The main
out.
bad guy,
someone had to live to tell the story.
I mean, it was cool that he turned his shield on before he talked to Leto. That's the only reason he lived.
What do you mean?
Baron Harkonnen, the big fat dude.
Yeah.
He was like, because he heard Leto try to talk.
He like went and he was like crawled in the top.
His gravity assist pushed him up.
Yeah, to get away from that.
But
air.
The other thing that saved him was a shield, which I thought you would like, because when he breathed it out, first the shield was stopping it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was cool.
It was very cool. I like his shields on his ring, too. That's so cool.
Dude, like, the customization of those fucking shields
awesome.
Are so great.
Yeah.
But now it's the mom, right?
Tell me about the mom.
I hate this bitch.
Why?
She is the most unlikable character. Because she
apparently... the voice.
Apparently, she is a all-powerful god, apparently. She has the ability to command with her voice.
Yeah.
And apparently there's some other bullshit about them, right? It's within their lineage. I think it's not
the witches.
I think it's not just their voice, right? There's something else that they have.
There's a little extra, yeah.
I don't know what it is. I never learned it.
Sure.
But
you do know.
I do know that this bitch, if she says, I don't want to do something, it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
So, the very start of it, out of nowhere, she's having breakfast with her son.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this is a normal morning. And she looks at her son and she's like, use the voice. And the son's like, no, Mom, it's too early. I don't want to use the voice. And I'm like, fuck is this bullshit? Like, in my head, I'm like, what do you mean use the voice? Like, you just want this guy to, like, say something racist or something? Something like something that he shouldn't be saying, right? Because it sounded like she wanted him to do something wrong. Yeah. Right? Because on his face, it felt like it disturbs him to do it.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
And that's what I took from that scene, right?
Sure.
And then he tries to use the voice on his mom. His mom obviously has resistance to this bullshit. Yeah. So it's not going to affect her unless someone's really trying on her. Uh-huh. So she's like, use the voice. Use the voice. Use the fucking voice! And then, like, you could hear, like, that weird noise. And then the little boy's like, okay, whatever. You know, I'm saying little boy, but I think he was, like, fucking 14,
he's 15,
15?
Yeah, he's 15.
Okay. He's not that little, but whatever.
Yeah.
But he uses the voice. I think he tells her to pass the butter or water.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking of Rick and Morty when the robot has to pass the butter. But yes.
What is my purpose?
What is my purpose?
You pass butter.
Oh my god.
I love that little fucker.
Yeah. So he tells her to pass the water, and then she starts to do it, and then she breaks it. And she's like, you're gonna have to try harder. You know? And then that's the only time he does it for like a long... he doesn't ever do it again for like the longest, right? I'm like, okay, so he's practicing some weird voice. He's also a skilled fighter. Cool. His mom just does all this side shit, and it's like dad runs everything in the light. It feels like she's running everything behind the scenes. And it seems like she's a strong, independent person who's like does whatever the fuck she wants as she's going around. But then people of her coven or whatever it is that they do just randomly showed up at her house and said, we want to see the boy. Yeah. And then I'm like, okay, so they know about the kid. They want to see him. I wonder what this is about. They go there. She's completely scared of these people. Yeah. Like...
especially the Reverend Mother. She's like the most powerful witch. Yeah.
Right. From what it seems, she is in complete fear. Her son doesn't know the dilemma that he is in.
Pretty much, yep.
She doesn't explain shit to him. Nope. And I get it. There's not enough time to explain. But you could say, hey, be as respectful as possible. You know? No, this little cocky motherfucker goes into that place and he walks into the room with his mom. There's this lady sitting on a chair and he's literally looking at her like, who's this bitch? Yeah. Why is she in my house?
I like it.
And I'm just like, all right, cool. That's a little bit of flair. Yeah. This is where he gets bitch slapped and put in his place. That's what I was thinking might happen. No, he doesn't get bitch slapped. His mom gets the equivalent of a bitch slap. Mm-hmm. Right? Because the... the Reverend Mother uses her controlling voice on the mom and throws her out of her own house. She's like, get out of this room. And then the little boy is like, how dare you use the voice on my mother? And he's like, he looked like he was ready to just like attack this woman. And then she's like,
quiet.
Yeah, she's like, quiet.
Come here.
You don't know who the fuck I am. Put your hand in this box, you little bitch. You know?
I love that scene.
Yeah, it's such a great scene because it shows that, like, throughout the whole time, the mom was confident. She was, like, doing all this stuff. But there's still someone she has to obey. Mm-hmm. There's someone that she bends the knee to. Mm-hmm. For the longest, she made it sound like she is always bending her knee to her husband. because, you know, he's doing the choices there, but she's really just doing all this other side shit. From what I can tell, I don't know if I got the wrong impression of her. She could have just been doing absolutely nothing the entire movie, but it just seemed like she was doing stuff.
Yeah.
But this Reverend Mother fucking tests the little boy, puts his hand in this box. Apparently the box either gets hot or cold.
It is immense pain.
It is just pain.
Yeah, it's the worst pain you could ever imagine. Yeah.
Okay. So she tells him to put his hand in there, and she says, if you're a bitch, I'm killing you.
I'll kill you, yeah.
And then he, like, sticks his hand in there. He keeps it in there for, like, a whole minute or two. And the Reverend Mother is like, all right, we're finished. And she leaves, and she's like, the boy is weak, but he's okay. Mm-hmm. I told you to only have females, but for some reason you decided to have a fucking male, you bitch. And then, like, she spits at her, and then they leave. And then you never see her again until later in the movie where
the Harkonnens.
Yeah, the Harkonnens are there, or whatever, the evil people. Which I don't think they're evil. I think they just want their rights back. What? Why are you pointing?
You're piecing this all together.
Well, that's the thing. Like, they're not technically evil. They had the rights first to the land.
They're evil, but they're...
Well,
yeah.
the stuff that they did to the land was evil.
Sure. Yeah, and the people, yeah.
But, you know...
There's two sides to every story.
There's always, you know, their side.
I'll tell you, the Harkonnens are assholes. They're evil.
They are. They seem like assholes. They also seem really disgusting with, like, what they do and like, how they look.
Yeah.
But the Reverend Mother goes to them and is like, hey, you can kill every single person on the fucking planet. I know what you guys are about to do. Because apparently they're planning to come kill the father, kill all the people. And she's like, just don't kill those two. And then they're like, okay, we won't kill them. And, you know, they abided by their promise. They didn't kill them in their own way.
Yeah.
But from there, it's like, ever since that woman showed up in their house, the mom lost all her confidence.
Yeah.
Anything that she could have been able to do, she just doesn't do anything.
I'm going to jump in real quick. I'm going to blow your mind.
Sure.
I won't blow your mind, but I'm going to explain something to you just so it really wraps it all together. If you recall, they keep talking about a prophecy that was planned and put into place generations ago, years ago. That's what the Reverend Mother keeps talking about with Jessica. She's like, you're trying to create the prophecy because the Bene Gesserit, all the witches...
From what it sounded like, she was trying to force the prophecy.
That is correct.
Because
they're
she had
only
a boy.
allowed to have females.
They're not supposed to have a boy.
Yes.
Boys only come for a special situation or something.
Which is this. Yeah.
Right.
It needs to be the head of a bloodline. So it could, like a House of Atreides, right?
Right.
It needs to be the head. It needs to be the son of a witch. That's how the prophecy starts.
So she created it.
The prophecy was created 10,000 years ago.
Right.
But she forced it.
But she forced it to begin.
Yes. And so the reason why she becomes a bitch and she's scared is not only because she broke the rules of her witch clan, right?
Right.
But she thought that Paul was going to die. Because some witches do this. They don't explain that a lot, but some witches have tried to do this before. That's like one sentence that they say in the movie. But they tried to create this prophecy before. And she thought her son was going to die because she loves Paul. She loves her son.
Right.
That's why, because no other boy has survived the test. You have to have immense will and mental power to pass that test. You know what I mean? Like, just imagine, like, thousands of biting ants, burning lava, everything on your hand. And
right. I understand. Any sort of the worst pain you could ever come up with.
Yeah.
1,000
times
fold.
10. Yeah. Right.
You know? I understand that. And he managed to last whatever... It felt like it was a minute.
He could have made it.
It could have been longer.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
The Reverend Mother still calls him a weak piece of shit.
Yeah.
But she acknowledges him.
Yeah. That he's probably the one. But she doesn't want him to be. And another thing, the Bene Gesserit. Okay. Now, another thing they don't mention too often in this one, but you can kind of get it, is that the Bene Gesserit are kind of in charge. They're trying to control fate and destiny and prophecy. That's why they came up with this bullshit lie. Like, literally, the prophecy they came up with is a lie. Like they just made it up and put it into the minds of the people that moved to Arrakis from Earth 10,000 years ago.
Gotcha.
That's why they're all like, is that the Messiah? Is that him? Is that the person we've been praying for thousands of years?
So that's why they know who the
That's
fuck
why
he
they
is.
think they know who he is. Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's why Paul's like, I don't know who the fuck you people are.
Yeah.
Why are you looking at me? I'm scared.
Right.
All these people know who I am.
Because he explained it. He's like, I don't like that the
Right.
eyes are on me.
The blue eyes. And the housemaid, when she first comes to Jessica and she's like, you know, by the way, really cool scene where she's like, I'm hiding a knife, but it's a gift.
Yeah.
And Jessica's like, great. With the hand signs to her guard, she's like,
hold on, don't do nothing.
Right, get ready.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
She didn't need that guard.
No, not at all.
She could have killed that woman. She could have stopped.
She's got skills, yeah.
It's not even that she has skills. She
it's
just
the
has the voice.
I know, you love the voice.
Like, it's not even that I love the voice. It's just...
It's not used enough.
When you have the ultimate power...
Yeah.
And you choose to never use it, even when your life is in danger... There's a fucking issue.
Hey, man.
I'm just saying, if I had the power to just snap my fingers and someone would die in front of me, if I'm in like a situation, oh, that guy has a gun and it's pointed at me, I'd snap my fingers in a fucking instant.
Right.
I wouldn't sit there waiting like, maybe he won't shoot me. Maybe he'll hand me the gun himself.
I can't give you a good explanation as to why they don't use the voice more often.
I know you can't. But that's the only issue I have. These witches, they manipulate everything around them.
Yeah.
But then they don't like do anything to like, so like.
You're gonna lose your shit when we watch the second movie.
What? Does she actually contribute a lot more?
Everything you want to see is in this movie.
Okay, is in part 2.
Yeah, I'm trying to get you excited.
Because for me...
You're totally right, by the way.
Everything that I'm seeing is that this mother does love her son from what it seems. Mm-hmm. She's just not willing to save him. Does that make sense?
I guess it makes sense.
This man... So, like, the very ending, right? Where Zendaya fucking shows up for 2 minutes.
Sure.
And they do a weird fight battle scene where like they do all this shit. They say, hey, these fuckers can join our tribe now. And the mother and kid are in a safe spot. And then this random black guy is just like, fuck that, they're gay. I want them dead.
Jameis.
Whoever he is.
Yeah.
And he's apparently like mad about the situation. So he challenges the boy to... combat of death, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't end until one of them die.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't have to accept it. They didn't have to, from what it seemed like.
Well,
I get it, but when the chief says, we accept you guys,
right,
you're
the chief
fine.
said, don't do this. Yeah.
The mom could have been like, hey, calm down. Or, hey, kill yourself. Hey, do all this other shit. Hey, walk away. You know?
That's true.
She could have said anything to stop this fucking guy. Right? But no, the main character had to have a growth moment. So they had him kill a black guy at the end of the fucking movie.
Well, the whole movie... Hold on. Let me stop you. I know he's black. Stop saying he's black. I understand.
Okay, it doesn't matter that he was black.
It doesn't matter, but you keep saying it.
But it's because I don't know his name.
Jameis.
Okay.
All right, listen. All the flashback scenes that you saw, like Zendaya partly and whatever.
Oh, yeah, when Zendaya killed him like 15 times.
Yeah.
They kept playing the exact same fucking scene.
Because the whole point is that he's starting to see the future, but he doesn't know what's real and what's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
I understand
Jameis, in all of his visions, has been his friend. The guy that he fight. That's why it's such a growth moment. It's one of the biggest moments of the entire story, because the entire movie you see Jameis in his dreams as his friend, guiding him through the desert, teaching him things. Yeah. It's only like 2 or 3 dreams, but you know, you get the picture.
I was gonna say I don't remember ever seeing Jameis.
Okay, there's like 2 or 3 dreams.
I didn't pay attention enough. I just know at the very end, this guy just does not like him and was like, he needs to die. And even though everybody's considering him as their messiah.
Yeah.
Like, why would you... If you consider someone your messiah...
Some of them don't believe it.
Some of them don't believe it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
As long as you say that part. I'm cool with that.
That comes into part 2 as well.
But I just want this to be said.
Yeah.
That tribe seemed like they all were on his side.
Yeah.
So it would make sense that all of them were like-minded. I get that they don't have to be.
Yeah.
But if 99% of them are saying, this guy's okay to be on our team because he's our messiah, that one motherfucker, like, no one's going to be like, dude, just calm down, man.
Well, here's the thing. They're not trying to kill Paul. He wanted to kill Jessica.
Oh, that's what he wanted to kill?
Yeah, he was like, I want to kill the mom. Because we can use the son. The son's young. He can learn our ways, that kind of shit. Plus, he might be the messiah, right?
Okay.
I want to kill the mom. She's weak. And
but
whatever.
She's not.
And she bested you, Stilgar. Like, whatever.
Who? Who's Stilgar?
Stilgar's the leader.
How did she best him? I didn't see it.
When they get surrounded and they start fighting, Paul takes out like 3 Fremen. He just knocks them to the side, you know?
Yeah.
And Jessica, before she gets stabbed with one of the knives from the leader, Stilgar, she like gets behind him and puts him in a chokehold.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
So basically, she proves that she can fight and she's worth staying alive, and they don't need to steal her water. That's what they want. They take the bodies for water.
Yeah.
Basically. All right. So hold on one second.
Okay.
Jamis, the whole movie is supposed to be his friend and his teacher. So the whole point of the ending scene, the last fight, which is still, I guess, a little confusing.
He teaches him the lesson to kill.
Well, Paul finally realizes, that's why the music kicks in, and it's like, you know, watch him rise.
He hears the dramatic music, and he knows he must do something special.
Right, because in all of his visions that he's seen so far, because the spice has been giving him shit, he's like, Jamis is my friend. He's supposed to live. So that's why he offers himself, first of all, to fight in Jessica's place. Because low-key, he knows his mom could fight. His mom could fight her.
His mom could have killed that guy.
Or use the voice, yeah. But he's like, no. Jamis is supposed to live. He's supposed to be my friend. Let me fight. That's why the whole fight, he stops.
He's like, listen, I could have killed you here. I could have killed you here.
Yeah.
I could have killed you here. Let's keep going.
But then when Jamis kept like trying to kill him, he's like, oh, I have to make a choice here. So when he kills Jamis, he's actually surprised. And he starts to cry a little bit.
He stabbed him in the back and made him a cripple.
No, he stabbed him in the kidneys. It's
I know, but
2-minute death, you know?
It just looked funnier, you know, like... when I saw the stab, like, I immediately thought of that one scene from Family Guy where, Joe's... The guy who...
Peter.
Yeah, the guy who crippled Joe, right? He's chasing him in the wheelchair, and like he goes and flies over a fence and lands on him and hits him in the back, and then Peter's like, oh, you caught him, blah blah blah, and then he's like, yeah, I hit him in the spine, blah blah blah, right here, and then he's like, oh, so he's gonna be crippled just like you got your revenge, and he's like, no, Peter, I killed him. It's just like,
no, Peter, I killed him.
Yeah, and then he's like, I guess I'll rejoin the police force after this. Like,
I'm
no,
trying to remember
he just murdered that fucker. He doesn't get to join the police force. He gets to go to jail.
Fuck it.
But, you know, that's Family Guy. He just rejoined.
Police brutality. So he knows he can change the future is what I'm trying to say.
Hey guys, just wanted to let you guys know this is the wrap up for the episode. We're cutting it off in the middle of this little conversation to leave you on a little peek. If you want to listen to the next one, come join us. We'd love to have you. If you do join us, beautiful, perfect. If you don't, that's all right. But, you know, show some love, leave a like, leave a follow, share with a friend, tell some people, do what you got to do. Till then, the next episode's pretty much just going to like cut right in, and like we'll start, you know, that whole conversation that we ended off on. I believe it ended on Thomas's voice, but it might be my voice. I'm not sure. But nonetheless, thank you guys for watching. Stay unapologetic, and we appreciate you guys. Peace out.